Right. So if you've just joined us, we're just finding a comfortable seat. And if you prefer to be lying down, that's absolutely fine too. But maybe kneeling or cross-legged, whatever feels right for you this morning, and just taking a moment to land and arrive. So you might close the eyes straight away, or you might take a moment just to sense into the body a little bit, maybe some movement, not thinking too much about it, maybe some little wiggles and wriggles, and then settling once you feel ready to. So allowing the shoulders to drop down away from the ears, a little bit of lift up through the spine. Again, if you're lying down, then just feeling the length of the spine, the contact with the ground. And if you haven't already, maybe inviting eyes to softly close. And if closed eyes feels a little bit strong, sometimes that feels a bit overwhelming, then feel free, of course, just to keep the gaze softly down towards the ground. And just beginning by pausing. And just noticing how you feel this morning. So as much as we can, without comparison, without judgment, just meeting ourselves as we are. And you might notice the movement of the breath. There might be a fidgety quality to the body maybe at this point. Or maybe you're still feeling a little bit sleepy. Whichever way, it doesn't matter, no problem, no right or wrong. But this practice of stopping, pausing, arriving, and just checking in. And just noticing what might be the most predominant sensations for you at the moment. So it might be that movement of the breath. It might be that there's some niggle or little ache or pain that is drawing your attention. Just seeing for a moment if we can inhabit the physical body. So quite often we're living up here in our heads, seeing if we can drop down. And if there is a niggle or a pain, then just checking in with that, just seeing if we can touch gently into it. So, meeting it with a kindness, compassion. Often we kind of tense and try to push pain away, which, of course, naturally. But just seeing if we can, give it a little metaphorical hug. It's okay. What is it trying to tell us? And maybe also there are parts of the body that don't really have much feeling at all. Maybe, what's happening in your big toe, your ear. Can we just bring our attention there as well, as much as we can? And maybe taking attention into the hands, feeling the hands from the inside out as best we can. So maybe there's a sense of, a buzzing, a kind of coolness or warmth. This aliveness of the body. And maybe also a heartbeat, this vibration deep within the body, pulsing, rhythmic sensation. And we might find that we touch into these sensations for half a second and then our brain gets involved again. We wander off down the road, something draws our attention, and so it is, time and time again, just gently guiding our attention back, touching back in, coming back to our home base for this deeper understanding with kind attention. So just notice if any tension might have crept back into the little muscles of the face, so around the eyes and the nose and the mouth, the jaw. And again, you might just encourage shoulders down and away from the ears. Softening down through the belly, the hips. Notice if we're holding on to anything that maybe isn't needed right now. And then guiding attention back to the breath just as it is. And maybe finding that as we bring attention to the breath, it naturally deepens a touch. And maybe if it doesn't, then you can invite that now. Feeling that opening from the inside out, the softening back towards the center. Sensations around the breath. Again, where are the prominent sensations, the top notes of breath? In the nose, the throat, the rib cage, the belly, wherever it might be for you. And just seeing if we can continue to stay present with the breath. And of course, the mind will get drawn away, no problem. We can always come back. Kind attention. And when you're ready, maybe bring the hands through to heart center, just to again arrive once more. A little gesture, Anjali Mudra, just to bring us back to center. Maybe touching the thumbs against the breastbone. You might want to just gently dip the chin towards the chest, bowing head towards the heart. Feel the back of the neck gently lengthening, opening, stretching, creating space. Honoring this body just as it is this morning. And then when you're ready, we'll lift the head back to center, flutter the eyelids open if you haven't already, and then taking the prayer up towards the sky. Look to thumbs if you want to, or keep the gaze straight ahead. Releasing the arms all the way down, stretching out nice and wide. Maybe give the arms and hands a little circle around as we do that. And again, we'll loop the shoulders up towards the ears and all the way back down the spine. And again, nice big circle with the shoulders up towards the ears and all the way back down. And then taking right hand down, left arm lifting up towards the sky. Inhale, reach up high. And taking that right hand out to the side a little bit as we find some room, a room and space through the left side of the body. If we're mirroring here, pressing down through the left hip and sit bone a little bit, turning the heart up towards the sky, just a touch. And then releasing that top arm all the way back down. Other side, inhale, lifting up through the right arm, and exhale, taking the left hand out to the side a little bit, just to make that room, create the space, reaching up and over through that top arm, press down through the right sit bone, right hip, lengthening through the waist, the rib cage. Again, just kind of turning the heart up towards the sky a little bit so we're not kind of slumping forward here. And when you're ready, releasing the other side, that arm all the way back down to the side. Inhale, both arms up overhead. Look towards the sky if you want to here. Wriggle fingers up towards the ceiling. Bring the palms together and hands back through to heart center. Let's interlace the fingers here and press the palms out and away, keeping the shoulders down. Ooh, just take a moment here, pressing out through the palms. Chin to chest again if you want to here, just to include that stretch through the neck and the back of the shoulders a little bit deeper. Use the breath to create the space. So as we inhale, feel that space between the shoulder blades opening up a little bit more. With the exhale, we feel that ease created. And then lifting the head back to center, taking the palms up towards the sky. Reach up high, extending and releasing when you're ready. And give the shoulders another little shake out, loosey-goosey. And then taking the hands behind a little bit, I'm going to scooch around here so you can see. So if you were sat on a block or something, you might want to scooch that out of the way now. Taking the hands behind and roll the shoulders back and lift from your sternum, so right from the heart center, taking that up towards the sky. Keep just relaxing the knees down if you can. So sometimes there's a kind of a tension kind of creeps in here, but see if we can soften the knees down. It doesn't need to be touching the floor, of course, but just that soft hips, relaxed hips. Lifting up from the heart, opening the throat or keeping chin to chest. And then relaxing that kind of back bend a little bit as we change the cross of legs. Give them a little wiggle around if you want to. And then whichever leg was in front before, take it behind. And then again, just kind of coming back to center. And then back into that, like leaning back onto the hands. Lift the heart, lift the chest. Open the throat if you want to. Encourage the knees down. If you want to here, maybe lifting the hips as well. So taking the knees down towards the ground as we lift the hips. Completely optional. These are all just suggestions, of course. And then bringing your bum back down to the floor. Bringing the knees up and in front, feet on the ground. Let's just lengthen out through the legs. Give the legs a good shake out. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the knees in. Give the knees a little hug, so you might want to wrap arms or hands around the fronts of your knees. Maybe find that little balance on your bum, lifting the toes up off the ground, engaging the core a little bit. Tuck the chin in, curl up into a little ball if you can. Toes can stay on the floor, of course, no problem. And then let's from here see if we can open this out into Navasana. So starting to reach the arms forward. And again, just as we did before, lifting from the sternum, from the heart, as we see if the legs will hover upwards. You can take hands behind the thighs, of course, if you prefer. Shoulders staying down, length through the back of the neck. We're not crunching in any way. We can still find a gentle smile. We can give the toes a little wriggle around if you want to. Release the hands here if you want to try that. Breathe, nice long inhale, long exhale, and then gently releasing. We'll sweep the feet behind and come onto all fours. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. So kind of, let's just get rid of any kind of idea of, well, let's get rid of this in general. The idea of perfection around our practice, gone, out the door. So really just moving here how your body wants to move. So we might just circle the hips. We might kind of rock the hips side to side. Feel free to close the eyes here. Just feeling into the body, the spine, as feels wise to you this morning. So you might find again that there are little niggles, little places of tightness. And it might be that as we kind of move these kind of circular, free movements, nothing structured, that we tap into those places, that they find a little bit of ease. If it feels good, lean into it. If it doesn't feel good, stay away a little bit. So just moving circles, wiggling, whatever feels right for you this morning. And maybe cow and cat as well, moving in as many directions as we can through the spine, including the neck as part of our spine as well. And then when you're ready, we'll gently come back towards our kind of neutral point here, so knees under hips, wrists under shoulders. Just thinking about connecting the belly up towards the spine a little bit, so that kind of zipping up of the front and back body, just a touch, just so we kind of have that connection. And then extending the arms forward, legs and knees staying just as they are, as we slide the hands forward until the forehead can drop towards the ground. So our half dog or melting heart. And we can allow softness between the shoulder blades, the heart melting towards the ground, just feeling that opening up the armpits a little bit and the shoulders. Just check in with the breath again here, maybe that longer, maybe a gentle ujjayi breath if you want to, or just a conscious breath. And then gently lifting the head, let's slide forward here, so stay low to the ground as we bring the hips down. Slide your elbows underneath your shoulders, so we're not having the elbows back here. Elbows under shoulders, or maybe slightly further ahead if back bends feel tight on your lower back. So maybe just wriggle the hips side to side here, so just rolling over the hips a few times. And then a gentle lift of the heart again as we shine forward into our Sphinx pose. And just allowing the shoulders to gently draw away from the ears. A little lift through the crown of the head. Check that we're not bringing tension into the back of the neck. We don't need to be looking up to the sky. Just gently keeping the gaze somewhere slightly ahead of your hands. Soften the belly. Maybe close the eyes. And then gently just lifting up to move the elbows out to the side. And we'll slide the hands back to about chest level. Hug the belly in slightly as we lift up and over the knees and back into child pose. So Balasana, forehead finding the ground. Take the knees as wide apart as you'd like to here. Toes kissed together. And soften the shoulders away from the spine. So again, landing, arriving. Just noticing contact with the ground. What are the sensations that are kind of speaking the loudest, those top notes of sensation? And then maybe kind of dropping down a little deeper into other sensations, places of less sensation. With the next inhale, gently lifting back to all fours, so back to our tabletop position. Again, coming back to a little bit of movement here, whatever feels right for you. Circling the hips, figure of eight kind of shape with the spine, cow and cat, a little bit of everything, all good. And then when you're ready, coming back to stillness, slide the hands forward back into our puppy dog pose, or what else do we call it? Melting heart. Allow that sort of heaviness from the center of the chest to draw down towards the ground. Gently lifting the nose a little bit, we're going to move forward into Sphinx pose, so slide it forwards, elbows underneath the shoulders or slightly further ahead. Lift the heart, shine the heart forward, drawing the shoulders gently down. Maybe that Ujjayi breath threaded through the nose, through the back of the throat. Lovely. Taking the elbows out to the side, draw the hands back to chest level, hug the belly in, lifting up and over the knees and back into child pose. Take the knees a little wider if you'd like to, drop the head down towards the ground, soften the shoulders away from the spine. Pausing here, notice the next breath. And then with the next inhale, lifting back to all fours. Coming back to that freedom of movement. Wriggle through the hips and the shoulders. Nice and steady, slow movements perhaps. Wriggling the hips. Cow and cat. And then one more time through this little sequence as we slide the hands forward, knees stay underneath the hips into our melting heart. Allow that softness between the shoulder blades. Pause here. Feel the heart drawn towards the ground. Lifting the head slightly, slide it forward into Sphinx pose. Shine the heart forward, shoulders staying down away from the ears, lifting up slightly through the back of the neck. One more breath. And then taking the elbows out to the side, relax the head down for a moment as we bring the hands back to chest level, hug the belly in, press the ground away, lift up and over and back into child pose. Pausing here, let the shoulders melt away from the spine, let any tension in the hands release. And then inhale, lifting back to all fours. Coming back to our tabletop position, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Have a little wriggle out here if you'd like to. And then this time when you're ready, we're just going to pull the hands a teeny step further forward from the shoulders. Spread the fingers nice and wide, middle fingers parallel to one another, tuck the toes under, draw the hips back. Inhale. And then with the exhale, we're going to lift up into downward facing dog. So the same thing as we did before, just exploring that freedom of movement through the spine and the hips. We can have a wriggle around, keep pressing into the fingertips, extending through the arms as we bring more kind of activation to muscles, warming up a little bit. Walk out the backs of the legs. So really press into the thumb, index finger, little finger. Knees can stay soft. In fact, let's everyone lift right up onto your tippiest tiptoes and then bend deeply into your knees and draw your belly back towards your thighs. So we're really pressing the ground away through the hands, lengthening through the tailbone, lengthening through the side body. Draw the tailbone right up and back, top corner of the room, whatever that might be. And then gently maybe maintaining all that length and sensation in the upper body as maybe we lengthen through the legs a touch. We don't need to lengthen all the way out. Knees don't need to be straight. No problem. We don't need to do that now or ever. But just experiencing that lengthening through the back body and drawing the belly in and up. Breathing deeper. Spread the shoulders out. So we're drawing the shoulders round the outer sides of the body. So really creating that space between the shoulder blades. And then inhale, look forward between the hands, walking, stepping the feet towards the hands, maybe the hands towards the feet. Keep the knees really nice and soft. So again, we're kind of bringing the belly, the rib cage slightly onto the thighs, perhaps. Allow the crown of the head to release down, shimmy out the shoulders. Give the hands a little shake out and a turn around if you'd like to. And then when you're ready, very slowly pressing through the feet, we'll start to roll up through the spine. So stacking vertebrae as we rise up, shoulders, neck, head last of all. Roll the shoulders back as we reach the top. Feet hip distance apart, heels behind the second toe. We can maybe rock the weight of the body forward and back over the feet. So drawing it right up onto tiptoes and then settling the heels down. Maybe lift all the toes up off the ground. And then again, rocking forward. Tiptoes, 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 steady the balance, steady the gaze, and then gently rocking the heels down. And then finding that equal balance across the feet. Bring the hands through to heart center. A reminder to return. Shoulders back and down, elbows soft. Gently lifting the heart towards the thumbs perhaps, just a tiny little bit. And lifting through the crown of the head, the back of the neck is long. Full deep breath. Lifting the gaze slightly as we take the prayer up towards the sky, look to thumbs, look to the ceiling, and then releasing the arms wide or forward, depending on your space, as we bow down, lengthen spine, nice soft knees, as soft as the knees need to be to allow the upper body to release down. Shimmy the arms out again, shimmy the shoulders, and then when you're ready, press through the feet, roll up through the spine, rising up. Shoulders, neck, head last of all, coming back to stand. Palms meet together at the heart. Lengthen through the back of the neck. A little connection of front and back body. When you're ready, take the prayer up to the sky again. Look to thumbs, look to the sky. Reach up. Sweep the arms forward or wide as we fold down. Soften the knees and release towards the ground. Forward fold. One more time. Rolling up through the spine. Feel the undulations in the spine as we rise slowly, slowly with care and attention. Shoulders roll all the way back. Lifting up through the crown of the head as the palms meet together at the heart, gently drawing front body and back body together. So there's this kind of just a little connection, head over heart over hips, lifting up through the crown of the head. And then one more time, look up to the sky as we take the prayer upwards and sweep the arms forward or wide. As we release down, soften the knees. Back into forward fold. You might want to just take hold of each elbow here. Allow the upper body to release down. Give the head a little shake and a nod, and then releasing the hands to the floor, or maybe just onto the legs somewhere, and then lifting to our halfway point, upwards Uttanasana, so creating that length through the back body, shoulders draw back, lengthen through the crown of the head, lengthen through the back of the legs, and then release again. Soften the knees, bring the hands all the way down. Stepping the right leg back, and we'll find the lunge here. So adjust as you need to in your space. Rocking the weight of the body forward and back between the feet a little bit maybe. And then when you're ready, we'll bring the right knee all the way down. Left ankle underneath the left knee. And when you're ready, we'll gently start to hover the fingertips up off the ground. Start to feel that front leg switch on. And then lifting up into our low lunge. Easing the hips forward perhaps a little bit and lifting fingertips up towards the sky. Reach high through the fingertips. Ground through the lower body. Full deep breath. And release. Fingertips finding the floor, and let's draw the hips back here. So our intention isn't to get our bum towards our heel, it's really to lengthen through the back of this left leg. So drawing the hips back equally, lift the left toes up towards the ceiling, shoulders draw back, heart reaches forward. And release. Maybe bow the nose towards the knee, and then rolling it gently forwards, back into our lunge. Tuck the right toes under, lift the back knee up. Just for a moment, see how that feels as we really stretch that right heel away, shine the heart forward, and then when you're ready, whoop, let's sweep the right foot forward and back into forward fold. Drawing gently up through the spine, so we're going to roll up through the spine again, back to standing, shoulders, neck, head last of all, hands plant together at the heart center, Anjali Mudra. When you're ready, take the prayer up towards the sky, look to thumbs, reach up and sweep the arms forward or wide as we fold with the lengthened spine back down towards the ground. Nice soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana. Draw the belly in, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, soft knees to bow, hands to the floor, left foot stepping back into our lunge. And again, let's just switch the weights forward and back across the feet. It might be a tiny bit, it might be a lot, it doesn't matter. There we go. And then when you're ready, left knee down. Right ankle underneath the right knee. When you feel steady, we might just start to hover fingertips up off the ground. Keep the shoulders back away from the ears, engaging that front leg to rise. Lifting up through the fingertips, inhale, exhale, easing hips forward and down a touch deeper. Pausing here, feel that lengthening through the left side of the body, left hip, left thigh. Reach up a little higher and releasing fingertips to the floor. Hands stay forward either side of that front foot, more or less. Untuck the back toes and draw the hips back. So draw the hips back equally, so check that you're not kind of going over there somewhere. So that right hip draws back as well. Draw the shoulders back and the heart shines forward. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting right toes up towards the sky. And with the next exhale, maybe bowing the nose towards the knee for a little bit more depth here. And then walking the hands forward back into our lunge. Tuck the back toes under. Lengthen through that back heel. Really feel that back leg switch on. And then when you're ready, we'll take a little step forward, back into forward fold. When you're ready, roll up through the spine again. Rising up with care and attention. Shoulders, neck, head last of all. Roll the shoulders back. Bring the hands back to heart center. Maybe dipping the chin towards the chest. A reminder of that connection, head and heart. Stretching through the back of the neck gently. And then when you're ready, take the prayer up to the sky, reach high, look to thumbs, arms sweep wider forwards and folding back down the other side. Forward fold. Nice soft knees, just allow the sensation of that stretching through the back body to open up a little bit. We might just take our hands around to the outer side of our right leg or right foot, and then round to the other side, outside edge of the left leg or left foot, and hold onto the leg or fingertips to the floor. And then back to center. Halfway lift, upward Uttanasana, hands rising onto shins or thighs or fingertips staying on the floor if you prefer. Shoulders roll back. Nice lengthened spine, soft knees to bow. Hands to the floor, right leg back again into that same lunge. Right knee comes down, left ankle underneath the left knee. When you're ready, hover fingertips up off the floor. Feel that connection. And then lifting a little higher. Reach up to the sky with the hands and ease the hips forward and down. When you're ready, release the hands down to the floor. This time we're going to keep the right hand down. Tuck the right toes under and lift the right knee. That right knee can stay down if you prefer. Left arm is going to lift up to the sky. Find our twist. Really find those 6 o'clock arms. Hug the belly in slightly. Find the twist straight from the belly button. Lift up through the top arm. Press the ground away through the lower arm. Send that right heel away. Pause here and then continue that circle with the left arm all the way back down to the floor. Taking the right knee down to the ground, let's draw back into our runner's lunge. Drawing the hips back, the heart slightly forward, opening up the back of the left leg. Inhale. Exhale, bow the nose towards the knee. Again, we're going to keep the right hand down here and lift up through that left arm. So a little twist in this runner's lunge. Lift up high and then releasing the top arm all the way down. Walk the hands forward, the foot to the floor, tuck the back toes under into that stronger sensation here. And then when you're ready, this time we're going to scoop the left foot back to meet the right and find plank. Press the ground away. We can drop the knees here, no problem. So yogi's choice, knees up, knees down, no problem. Shoulders nice and open, still breathing, still smiling. Inhale, and with the exhale, knees, chin and chest down to the floor and through into our cobra when you're ready. Stick the toes down, lift the heart, draw the shoulders down. Pause here. Maybe take a moment to look over your left shoulder, look over your right shoulder, come back to center. And when you're ready, we'll lift up and back into child pose. So keep the arms gently reaching forward, draw the hips back. Inhale, back to all fours, where we began. Have a little wriggle through the spine. Maybe just take a moment of stillness. Take the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. Tuck the toes under, inhale, draw the hips back. Exhale, downward facing dog. Really press the ground away through the fingertips, thumb, index finger, little finger really working. Spread the shoulders out and around the outer sides of the body. Lift the tailbone up to the sky. Maybe knees are bent just to find that extra length and extension in the back. Settle in, arise. And then inhale, look forward between the hands. Walk, step, hop it forwards, back into forward fold. Give the hands and arms a little jiggle around if you'd like to. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll back up through the spine. So really press through the ground, gently connecting and engaging the core as we rise up, shoulders, neck, head last of all. Roll the shoulders back if you need to. Give the hands a shake, feet hip distance apart. Just take a moment with the hands down by the side. Find that equal standing across the feet, front to back, side to side, above and below. Notice the heartbeat, notice the breath. Top notes of sensation. Can we drop down a little deeper beyond that? Bring the palms back together at the heart. Dipping the chin towards the chest. And then when you're ready, taking the prayer up towards the sky, reach high, look to thumbs. Arms sweep forward or wide as we fold down the other side, back into forward fold. Nice soft knees. Inhale, halfway lift. Upward Uttanasana, create the space. Reach the crown of the head forward, draw the shoulders back. Exhale, soft knees to down. Fingertips finding the floor. Left foot stepping back into our lunge. So when you're ready, left knee down to the ground, right ankle underneath the right knee. When you feel steady, hover the fingertips up off the floor. As we do that, we feel this right leg switch on. Draw the belly button slightly in and maybe slightly up. Really switch the core on. And then lifting up into our low lunge here. Lifting up through the sky, up to the sky through the fingertips and easing hips forward and down. Nice open heart, soft shoulders. Find that inner smile. And then gently releasing the hands down to the floor. Let's find our twist. Tuck the back toes under and lift the back knee. Keeping the left hand down to the inside of the right foot as we sweep the right arm up to the sky. Find 6 o'clock arms. Twist from the belly. Nice open shoulders. Send that left heel back. You can keep the left knee down, of course, as well. Reach up through that top arm. Find the breath. And then bring the top arm all the way back down. Let's settle the left knee down if it's lifted, and then draw back into our runner's lunge. Lifting the right toe up towards the ceiling. A little gentle bend in this right knee. We don't need to lock it out. Drawing both hips back equally. Draw the shoulders back as well. Lift the heart slightly. Inhale. Exhale. Maybe bow the nose towards the knee. Lovely stuff. Gently lifting the head, we're going to keep this lower body position, keeping the left hand down here. Let's see if we can find a twist from here. Lifting up through that top arm, keep drawing the hips back. Stronger pose perhaps, more interesting sensations. Lift up high and bring the top arm all the way back and down. Good stuff. And then roll it forward. Lifting that back knee up, we're going to scoot the right foot back to meet the left. Press the ground away, hug the belly in. We might even rock forward and back over the toes, or feel free to drop the knees here. No problem to do that. We're doing the same work. Breathing, smiling, having a good time. And then when you're ready, knees, chin and chest, or maybe chaturanga, keeping the elbows in as we lower in one piece to the floor. Shoulders back, elbows in. Tops of the feet to the ground as we lift the heart slightly into cobra. Check that our shoulders don't lift up here. They want to stay back and down. Look over your left shoulder, look over your right shoulder, and come back to center and release. Hands a little scooch back, hug the belly in and up as we draw back over the knees into child pose. Take a moment to pause. Rest the forehead down on the mat, on your arms, whatever works. Soften across the hips. Notice if there are parts of the body that, that sensation of softening. How is that? And then when you're ready, inhale, lift to all fours. Take a little wriggle if you'd like to here. Cow and cat if you fancy. Finding that freedom of movement, the wisdom of the body. Slide the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders when you're ready. Tuck the toes under. Inhale, draw the hips back. Press into the fingertips as we lift up and back into downward facing dog. Knees can stay soft or extending through the leg. Relax the neck as we look back between the big toes. You might even close the eyes here for a moment. Feel that Ujjayi breath. Drawing in through the nose, the back of the throat, that kind of controlled, conscious breath with gentle sound. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Walk, step, hop it forwards into forward fold when you're ready. Allow the body to release down. Inhale, halfway lift upwards Uttanasana. Create the length and strength and space. Shoulders draw back, elbows in towards the side of the body. Exhale down the other side, back into forward fold. When you're ready, press the ground away. We'll lift with a lengthened spine this time. Soft knees as we reach up to the sky. Palms meet overhead and then draw back through to the heart. Anjali Mudra, in Tadasana. Shoulders, elbows soft. Lifting the heart up towards the thumbs. Pause here. When you're ready, maybe taking the arms out to the side a little bit for support. Keep hands up at the heart if you prefer. And then just taking the weight over into the right leg, and we'll lift the left knee. So I'm just showing you that way. So left knee rises. Lifting up, keep this length up through the center line of the body, the golden thread, drawing up and out through the crown of the head, lifting us to the sky, the roots down through that right leg, holding us steady. And then let's take that knee out to the side. So let's take that out to the side and find Vrksasana, our tree pose. So maybe the left foot comes to the inside of the thigh, maybe to the inside of the calf, maybe toes to the floor and heel just kind of above the ankle. Any of these options are beautiful places to be. Do what feels right for you this morning. So wherever we are, think about the strength of the standing leg, that opening of the hips, that gentle kind of opening out through the lifted leg. Foot isn't gripping, we're not kind of hanging on with our toes, we're just pressing the whole of the foot to the inside of the leg and the inside leg back into the whole of the foot, if that makes sense. So that kind of equal and opposite from the inside out. And maybe if you feel steady, arms might come back to the heart. Maybe even lifting the arms up towards the sky. You could even play with looking up to the sky or closing the eyes if you're feeling kind of crazy. Super crazy. And then bringing the hands back to the heart when you're ready. So from here, let's see if we can just lift the knee up again. So lift the knee back up in front and then send it back, big step back. And let's find warrior one. So we're placing the heel down, the toes slightly out to the side, feet on slightly separate tracks so we can find that movement in the hips to shine the knobblier bits of the hips forward. Bend into that front knee, so the right knee bends, knee over ankle, and the back heel is down. Again, just that little connection of front body and back body. So we're not kind of sticking our chest out here. We kind of want this inner connection that draws up through the center line. Palms through to the, meet together at the heart, and then lifting fingertips up to the sky. Reach up, maybe look to the sky, keep drawing that right hip back, left hip forward, and then sweep the arms down by the sides, and let's find that diagonal line from the crown of the head to the tailbone down to that left heel. So again, we switch on this front leg and we feel the kind of energy drawing back and the heart drawing forwards. So arms are active, fingertips are active. Lovely. Maybe bringing arms out to the side a little bit more if you've room, or maybe bringing hands to the heart. We're going to move this into warrior three. So see if you can start to float that back leg up off the ground and lengthen through the standing leg, keeping the heart lifted, the hips kind of even. So feeling the body from the inside out again, this standing leg really working hard. That lifted leg needs to be really active so it's not kind of just floppy spaghetti taking us out of balance. Draw the belly slightly in if you need to here, use that core muscle, and then bringing the hands back to heart center if they're not there already, and we'll land with grace and ease. Sure thing. And if you fall, we'll catch you, no problem. Lifting up through the heart again as we come back to Tadasana, let everything that's happened already go, and then taking palms up to the sky, look to thumbs, arms sweep forward or wide as we fall down the other side. Nice soft knees, give the shoulders a little shimmy. Inhale, halfway lift, upwards Uttanasana, and exhale, down the other side. Hands to the floor, let's step back into plank. Press the ground away, knees to the floor or knees lifted, either way is fine. Hug the belly in, keep the shoulder blades apart, and when you're ready, knees, chin and chest, and down to the floor or chaturanga, coming down onto the belly. Tops of the feet stick to the floor, shoulders back, elbows in as we lift the heart to cobra, or up dog if you prefer. Maybe take that little glance over your left shoulder and the right shoulder. Come back to center and release. Moving back over the hips, over the knees, into child pose. Let the forehead find the ground. Let the shoulders release away from the spine. Take a moment to maybe give the hands a little stretch and a wriggle. When you're ready, inhale back to all fours. Hands slightly ahead of the shoulders, spread the fingers nice and wide. Tuck the toes under, inhale, draw the hips back. Exhale, down facing dog. Hug the belly in. Lift the tailbone. Knees can stay soft of course. Shoulders nice and open. Full deep breath here. Inhale, look forward between the hands. Walk, step, hop it forwards. Into forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, upward Uttanasana. Exhale, down the other side. When you're ready, sweep the arms wide, lift with a lengthened spine, so press the ground away, keep the belly gently engaged as we rise. Palms meet together and draw the hands back through to the heart. Shoulders drop down, elbows are soft. When you're ready, we're going to pick up the right knee. So I'm not mirroring you. So the other side you didn't do before. So we're going to come into tree pose in a moment. We're just taking a moment to pause here, hover here. Feel, what's happening as we lift that right knee up. Undulations in the left foot. What goes on in our mind? Where do we go? Balance, crazy times. Taking the knee out to the side when you're ready. Finding our, where we want to put the foot. I was going to try and find some clever thing to say there, but this is it. So inside thigh, calf, heel. Yogi's choice. Maybe bringing the hands to the center. If we do that, then press the palms together a little stronger than we might usually. Use that kind of internal connection as part of the balance. And again, that kind of equal and opposite. So we're pressing the foot into the leg back into the foot. Working from the inside out, lifting up through the crown of the head. Steady the gaze. One side will feel different to the other. Doesn't matter. It's all practice, only yoga, no big deal. If you would like to, maybe taking the arms up overhead or arms out to the side. Whoa. sway with the wind, taking the arms out to, up and out a little bit. Maybe look to the sky, change the gaze, change the drishti point. See how that messes with our balance. Or not, maybe it makes it easier. Keep the heart lifted, shoulders soft. Find that inner smile, real or imagined. And then bring the palms together and then back through to the heart. When you're ready, turn around here. Bring the knee back up in front. Lift it a little higher than you might usually. Use the core muscles to lift up and then step it back when you're ready into our warrior one. So place the right heel down, left knee over the top of the left ankle if you can, hips towards the top of the mat. Keep the heart lifted towards the thumbs. Warrior one. When you're ready, lift the palms up towards, the hands up towards the sky, fingertips up towards the sky. We might lift the heart here. We might keep it quite soft. Arms might be quite wide, no problem. Work with how your shoulders feel today, how your hips feel, how your body feels as a whole. And then when you're ready, taking the arms down by the sides, let's find that diagonal line. Feel that switch on, particularly that left thigh muscle. Feel it drawing back still, so the hips are still square to the top of the mat. Activate through the fingertips, so we're really drawing them back behind us. The back heel stays down. Belly engaged, that lengthening through the back of the neck to the crown of the head. Lovely. And when you're ready, we're going to turn this into warrior three. So we're going to start to fly forward, so lifting up that back leg, keep everything active. So we can't have kind of floppy roots. Does that make sense? So lift up through that standing leg. Maybe the arms go wide, maybe the hands to the heart. Yogi's choice. Flex that lifted foot so that really activates the leg. Keep the heart lifted. Gentle smile, still breathing. And when you're ready, we'll land on purpose. Feet together, feet hip distance apart. And stand in Tadasana, hands at the heart center. Lift up through the crown of the head. Feel the texture of the mat under your feet. Notice the heart beating next to the thumbs maybe. And then when you're ready, take the prayer up to the sky. One last time, reach up. Exhale, arms forward or wide as we fold down. Nice soft knees. Release the shoulders, give the head a shake and a nod. If you want to, have a good wriggle around. Hands to the floor, stepping both feet back into plank. Hug the belly in. Draw the shoulders back. Maybe knees to floor, no problem. Find that Ujjayi breath. Maybe rock forward and back over the toes if you want to. And then when you're ready, knees, chin and chest, or keeping the elbows in as we lower as one complete piece of wood, like, and then onto the toes. So that's chaturanga. Draw the shoulders back as we lift the heart to cobra. Pause here. Draw the shoulders down, shine the heart forward. And then lifting up and back over the knees into child pose. Forehead finding the ground. Draw the shoulders away from the spine, let the hands relax. Feel the heaviness of the head in contact with the ground. And then when you're ready, inhale and lift back to all fours. Circling the hips, moving the spine in whatever way you'd like to. And then we'll come into pigeon pose from here. So if you have any knee issues, then there are other options. So we'll come to that in a second. So there are different ways to come into pigeon. So maybe from downward dog, we could lift the left knee up and then kind of sweep the left knee towards the left wrist. And we want to kind of cross the lower leg underneath the body a little bit and slide the back leg away. So if I switch around here, so depending on how open and flexible your hips are, some people can get that lower leg quite straight. Mine is quite far back. But we want the knee in line more or less with the left hip. And my heel is kind of quite near to my right hip. So we're lifting up here and the back leg is kind of relaxed and lengthened behind. So from here, You might want to stay quite lifted, or maybe come down onto elbows, or maybe even come all the way down to the ground. If you've got blocks or pillows, you might want to just place a pillow underneath here, lift the ground up towards you a little bit. If you feel quite unstable, if you feel like you're kind of rolling over, grab a block or a cushion and stick that underneath that left hip. So if you're there, hang out there for a while. If you have any knee issues, that doesn't feel good for you at all, then another option is to come to eye of the needle. So come to lying down, bending your knees, feet on the floor, and then lifting the left leg up. We're going to cross the left ankle over the top of the right knee. And that might be enough, or you can bring the right thigh in towards you. So we're doing the same kind of thing there. So whatever you're comfortable with this morning, or not, is also an option. Just have a lie down, have a little yoga choice time, no problem. If we're in our pigeon pose or sleeping swan, if we take a yin kind of dynamic to this, and just pausing, softening, relaxing the eyes. There's a lot going on here. This is a big hip stretch, so those kind of predominant sensations of the body might be quite loud. Can we soften around that? Can we send the breath to those places of stronger sensation? What is the body telling us? Does it feel like a good juicy stretch, or does it feel sharp and painful? Do we need to move away? So, you know, really listening and responding to that wisdom of the body, trusting the wisdom of the body. So see if you can watch the next 3 full breaths here. You might want to count them. And at the end of that 3rd breath, just gently opening the eyes if they're closed, maybe lifting back up onto hands. We can tuck the back toes under to help lift ourselves up out of this little pretzel shape. So if you want to lift up back up into a downward dog and have a little stretch out, like a little jingle jangle, you can. Or maybe just coming back to our all fours, circling the hip, you know, stretch the leg out in a way that feels right for you. And then coming to the other side when you're ready. So if you're doing eye of the needle, then just letting the legs come down and then moving to the other side when you're ready. So if we're coming into pigeon pose, maybe coming in from downward dog, lifting the right leg up and sliding the knee towards the back of the wrist, and then sliding that back leg away. So kind of take a moment to get comfortable. That front knee in line with the corresponding hips, so right knee in front of the right hip, more or less. And have support underneath you if you feel unstable. Get a cushion underneath that right bum cheek, or maybe just kind of off to the side a little bit. So we want this kind of steadiness in the hips and an evenness in the hips. And then maybe finding that option to slide forwards. So do be gentle. These are strong poses. There's a lot going on, both in terms of, like, you know, how we're putting our body into shapes, but, you know, there's deep stuff going on here. Hips can be really tight, particularly if we're, you know, well, just in general, to be honest. There's still a lot of emotion and stress there. If we're sitting a lot, obviously that gets more so. This is deep work, so, you know, being really gentle, that checking in, kind attention. Is this okay? Asking for that permission from your body rather than forcing. And it might be that the answer is not today, and that's okay. But maybe this feels like a nice place to be. It might feel like quite a release. So 3 deeper breaths. Just gently counting the inhale, watching the exhale. So at the end of that 3rd breath, just gently letting the eyelids flutter open if they're closed, coming back up onto hands a little bit, tucking the back toes under, lifting up. You might just come back into all fours. You might want to take a little stretch out in downward dog. Give the hips a little wriggle around. Ooh. And then when you're ready, dropping the knees down, switching the feet out to the side, come to the middle of the mat, and let's roll down onto your back. So if you've been in either knee, of course you'll already be here. Feel free to bring the knees in for a little hug. We might just gently give the knees a little circle around a little bit, massaging the lower back into the floor. It might be nice to take the arms out and just drop the knees to one side. You can look in the opposite direction from your knees. And then when you're ready, moving them over to the other side. And then come back to center. And again, just give the knees another little hug here. And then bring the feet to the floor. And you might want a cushion underneath your legs here. Really nice to put a cushion or a pillow underneath your knees as we come to a little Shavasana. So this is going to be quite a short Shavasana, but feel free to stay as you are. I'll just switch the video off and you can drift away if your time and space allows. So get comfy, settle the arms down by the sides or rest on the belly. Let the head just sink back into the ground. Feel the weight of the body spreading out, taking up space, allowing yourself to take up space. Spreading out the tiny muscles of the forehead and around the eyes and the nose and the jaw. Throat softening, shoulders melting back. You might notice the rhythms of the internal body, heartbeat, breath, the buzzing and bubbling, the sensation of aliveness. And just allowing a few moments of not doing. So of course, if you want to stay as you are for longer, feel free to do that. If you feel ready to move on with the day, then just maybe gently giving the hands and fingers a little stretch and a wriggle, maybe a deeper breath, rocking the back of the head from side to side, moving with care and attention, slowly, gently, no rush. You might roll gently to one side. And then when you're ready, slowly make your way through to sitting. Coming back to a comfortable seat as we began. And again, keeping the eyes closed, just take a moment to arrive. Notice how you feel. Notice what is here, what is present. Seeing if we can meet ourselves with kind attention, with unconditional friendliness. And if it feels right, you might bring the hands through to the heart, dip the chin to the chest, thanking yourself for practicing this morning. Thank you very much from me too. Honouring this body just as it is. May we be happy. May we all be healthy. May all beings everywhere be peaceful and free. Thank you so much, everyone. A joy as ever. Namaste. Hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have any questions.